Should I put my thingy out of the shot too?
Probably.
Really?
Is it in there?
Because I want to drink. Well.
Are we advertising for Bubba here?
No. Oh really?
No.
Those are takeouts. Takeouts.
What's the takeout? I have tuna fish crackers.
And
tuna fish and crackers. Okay, hi.
Hi. Hello world. Hello.
So my name is Angie, and I've been playing Rose for close to 20 years.
My name is Dominic, and I've been playing Maud for 2 years.
So I started with Jack's Haunted House in 1999. He shared a sister location with Mind Seizure Haunted House. And so the very next year I joined them, which was owned by a couple named Bob and Roxy, and they're fantastic. They actually invented the character named Rose, which was part of their origin story for their haunted house. Then they sold the haunted house, and I was going to be done with Rose then, somewhere around the later 2000s. But the next people that bought the haunted house wanted me with my character, Rose. But it was no longer the origin story of Mind Seizure because they had changed it into like an asylum or some different thing. But I kept the name Rose, and I kept my shawl that was original to Bob and Roxanne because I love them. They were my original haunt family. And then when I had my baby in 2011, I took a few years off and didn't think I was gonna get back into it because Rose is kind of hard to do when you're in your 30s. The year 2015, I started with Hellscream Haunted House. And now Rose is sort of a whole different character. She still carries the same name and a lot of the same actions. She seems sort of possessed. There's a lot of characters in her head. There's actually 3 characters in her head that we play off of. There's Rose, who is possibly her dead sister. And then there's me, who's in there. And then there's this sort of voodoo-y, demon-y type of creature who's also living in there that she's constantly fighting between the 3. So yeah, I guess that's Rose's kind of story from beginning to today.
I've been haunting since 2011, and I blame my mom for everything. She dressed me up as vampires and werewolves early in life. Always had Halloween parties, always decorated the house to the 10s, and had house haunts. And then I stumbled upon Vince and his little creation back in 2011, and he gave me a shot. I've been everything from an executioner to a butcher, and then a rhino. I was a rhino at one time. I've been a lot, but Maud came through creation of, hey, why don't you be a clown in a cave with a chainsaw? I said, okay, I think I could do that. So I grabbed a chainsaw, and I have never had the same makeup with Maud, ever. And I love it because I get to play with chainsaws and the thrill of the hunt. So outfit, yeah. A combination of Party City, Amazon, and yeah, just trinkets from old Spirit. Stuff you throw together, stuff Mom had, stuff you buy, and you just work on it. So this is the other part of Maud, and it's just rubber bands I put in there, color, make it dirty, make it ugly, so when it works, it works.
These are her horribly destroyed shoes. I usually have to get a new one every year, but these are actually from next year. And I actually wear 5 layers of socks because when I'm in line, people like me to take off my shoes and play with them. So I've learned that having an extra party trick in your pocket really helps add to the disgustingness. And of course I have my knee pads, which I wear, and I have elbow pads, which I put around my elbows and wraps. And then I have 2 layers of clothing on top of this so that it helps me stay warm. So I met Dominic in 2016, which is I think when you, cause you took a couple years off or something? Or
yeah, 2013 I was not, 14, 15.
Okay. Yeah, so Anyway, when he rejoined the haunt in 2016, we became friends and got really close, and then so
Rose is my girl.
And Maud's my man. He inspires me and supports me and makes me feel loved and important.
Right.
All of that are really healthy things.
All that good stuff.
And yeah.
Well, we have a thing. Everybody needs a thing. This is our thing.
Yeah, we haunt. We scare people. And
but we're normal people.
Ish,
outside
ish.
Everything else.
Yeah, we have regular
Family.
lives and jobs and families and we do things. He runs the end of the line with the chainsaw and I run the front of it. So it's really fun because we kind of start and cap off the end of the show, and I hear from lots of guests all about Maud and then
Rose
all
is
about
a fan
me.
favorite.
So
Everybody takes their picture with her or screams with nightmares from her.
And same with Maud, and so we have a lot of fun together.
You get to a haunt late, you're gonna be doing your makeup inside the bathroom. So that's what I'm doing. The rest of Maud is all makeup application, trusted benign. Works every time. Whites, blacks, and hair. You need hair. So that's what I start with. I already got my eyes in, sclera. Now I gotta put on my hair. So to do that, you glue it to your face, to your skin, so when it rips off, it hurts real bad. It's awesome. So I just ordered more because I always go through a tube so fast. And I don't do a lot, just a little bit. Just a little bit right here. Put it on the skin, put it on its skin first. Just like that. And you put some on the actual hair itself. So it has a good bond. Because trust me, people tug on my hair all night long. They think it's real, they think it's not. They have to grab it because that's their only handle to grab when they're hiding from the chainsaw and rolling on the ground. So, and then you work on top of that. So that's base. Base.
You really have to gauge what people are scared of right now. So like for mine with Rose over the 20 years, I really had to gauge what people were afraid of and what they were watching then. So like last year, one of the hot movies was Hereditary, and that was a terrifying movie. And so I stole a little piece from that with like a person that just breathes. I was like, that's scary. So like I added that into it. Or the year The Grudge came out, I added like and when I crawled at people. Right. The Ring, when that came out, I added parts of The Ring into my character, like with the long hair over the face. So really, I go with trends and horror to kind of look at what's scary now as far as what stuff to add to my character kind of each year. When everyone was afraid of torture and we had all those torture movies, I started adding more cuts in my face, and I think that's when I added the safety pins and the cut in the thing, because people really didn't they loved the Saw movies and the Hostel movies. So I got
gory.
Yeah, I got gory. This year, the only thing I added more was just making my teeth really nasty. Last year I added lip stuff. I put latex on my lips and it looks like herpes. It's so nasty, yeah. And that's because people really don't, like we have the germaphobe fear, and the like touching things, and Rose is very much on the ground. So of course she got some kind of disease from the trashes and stuff, This is where I got all my base stuff. So that's the herpes stuff I was talking about in my mouth, and once I color it, that's gonna look really cool. And I stretch it a little bit to make it have a really cool base on it. And then this is a bottle cap that a friend of mine sawed off back in Mind Seizure days, actually. He sawed it for me and I've kept it ever since. Just I like adding little extra touches so that if they're really close, which in Lyme they do get close, if my acting doesn't scare them from afar, then a lot of times when I get closer, they can be grossed out by what they're seeing in my face, or entertained if they just want to see the makeup part of it, which is also, a cool thing. I also did forget to mention how much I love Hellscream Haunted House, because Vince has helped create an environment of openness and family. Meant to mention that in my interview, and it's a weird time to mention it now, but I do love me some Hellscream. I think Vince has done a great job partnering with Jack and Jeff, and they've just created a couple of beautiful, beautiful things. Every actor would agree with me, right?
Yeah, every actor has so far.
Because it's a great space. So that's also the real reason I came out of retirement, I guess, was I realized how great he was and how he managed people and how he treated his volunteers. It very much reminded me of how Roxanne and Bob treated their volunteers with respect and admiration and just really making you feel good about what you do, because this is hard work. So I just wanted to mention that. That's all. So now I'm adding the rot, because black tells me that an injury has been there a while. Black and purple kind of mixture. And then I'll be adding this as a base to all of my stuff first. And then depending on the injury, like these scratches, will determine how much red I put in it. Yep, so that'll take me a while.
Everything by hand feels better that way. You work it in evenly, so you can feel where it's thicker or not. Since I'm a killer clown, I really don't have to make sure this white is perfect. It's just my base. It really doesn't matter when they're running for their lives how good or bad I look, but they get the point. Now the longer part is, you know, the finer details. Obviously the black outlines. You know, you gotta make things dark. You gotta have a point because it's a clown. So he's got some kind of clown look to him. You work that in. It's rough. This is the rough copy. You can detail it later. I like the wrinkles. Kind of stole that from Batman's Joker. Not the new Joker, he's so colorful. Oh. This is what you get. Oh, additions. Additions. You always gotta have accessories. You gotta accessorize.
Accessorize, yeah,
So
accessories.
see, Mod has grills. Mod has grills. It's it. You always gotta have some kind of teeth. Either they're scary, or they're dirty, or they're hidden.
Yeah.
Mouths are scary.
No,
But you
mine's
gotta
not.
have shiny.
That's also scary.
That's what Mod does. He's classy. See,
I don't know if I'm
got the
laughing at
tux.
smiling at something.
See
I have
that?
No,
No idea.
The light up. Can you get that? Can you
No.
It
get
doesn't light up quite yet, but we'll
No?
get some of it later.
Okay.
Later when it's all bright and dark outside.
Later, Gator. It's time to be Mod. He's a little mean.
Cheers.
Cheers to us, blood brothers.
You gotta take your fish oil. You gotta take your vitamins. You gotta eat right. Otherwise, you're not gonna make it. You can't heal. You gotta be healthy on the other side, and then bring the noise.
And the older I get, the more I realize, you know, of course, because when I started this, it was all Red Bull, energy drinks, and just go, go, go. But now my body,
Battery
you know,
acid.
yeah, now that I'm pushing 40, my body needs a lot of nutrients. So you eat healthy.
Kids, nutrients, not sugar daddies.
Right. So I eat well, I treat my body well, I do yoga. Yoga really helps with the burn, because I no longer burn on the night after I do rows. But some of the bigger challenges, yeah, it's really just endurance. Because when you're out in line, and it's different when you're in the house, but also endurance when you're in the house. But when you're in line, you have to stay in character 24/7. And what's sort of worse is that once they love you, they just want to see more and more of you. I call it butter when it's a buttery night, which is when you're just moving through the line and everyone just everyone just swims through melted butter. They become butter, and that's my favorite night is the buttery nights.
Now.
I know too. But the buttery nights is when they just part and they're all terrified. It's really hard not to go almost 100% every time.
Yeah.
And then you can kill yourself by like 9 o'clock.
It's down to you.
You know, so
For sure.
So it's the pacing, and sometimes I just have to tell myself, no, just let this curve, let this line go. Take a 10-minute break, you know, and I go out to the back and find some water, or I find a hiding place and just lay down for a few seconds.
The problem is you don't want to miss that group.
You don't wanna
want to miss it. You don't want to miss the one person that will absolutely lose their bowels in front of you. It's gross, but it's true. We want that one person, or the whole group.
Yeah.
You know, and if you go take a break, or if you take the night off, you feel like you missed it. You know, and it's worth it. Anywhere from 100 to 1,000 performances a night.
this to my core.
I said I blamed my mom
Yes.
and my girlfriend.
Yes. And I blame my parents too. My dad did haunted housing when he was a teenager in Cheyenne, Wyoming, and that I watched horror movies all growing up, and I love being scared. If I go through a haunted house, which I've gone through our haunted house, everybody boo ah.
Get into it.
I get
Have
my
fun.
legs up in the air. They
Get into
scare
it.
the crap out of me. I love being scared, and so I love scaring people because I love that feeling that you get when you scare somebody.
It's
and
the entertainment value too.
It's funny.
Yeah. Okay, so you have the person who laughs hilariously, can't stop. You have the fainting goat, and you have the pure feared person. And you have to go through quite a few groups just to figure out who's who, and you feel them and you go for that attack. But at the same time, you want to entertain everybody else. If you're here to be entertained, let us entertain you. That's what we're doing. It's in a bad way, it's in a scary way, it's in a horrible way, but we're here to have that expression of entertainment to you.
Why are you so close?
For me, how I feel like I sort of got attention when I first started working for Mind Seizure with that family, because I just ran all the rooms, and the more dedicated I could show myself as being, which was being here on time, being here when they needed me, and then being in my room 100% of the time, and then just following through with your scares and your scare paddings. So dedication is key to making people recognize you.
Just trust in the haunt.
Yeah,
They know what they're doing.
Right.
Hopefully, wherever you are.
Right. So I'd say stay dedicated, show yourself you're worthy of being here, and that you can do other spaces. Be versatile. How you can be versatile is by showing up. When you're in a room, think of 20 different things you could play with in that room, so you don't just stick to one scare, because the more versatile you can prove yourself as being, the more they will recognize you as somebody that can be put in any room, create a scare anywhere.
They'll find your niche, and you'll find your niche. And the next thing you know, you're making things for a costume to do things better. You play with stuff at home. That's where the passion comes from. Things that you do at home to improve your character. And then experience, just going through each group, feeling them out, seeing how the art of the scare, the art of okay, cut. That's all I had.
Where the big scary clown is.
I'm fine. Ask me how I
Wrong way. Gotta go where he is.
Don't break out that camera for no reason, go!
Oh, and we started in Instagram.
Mine is Rose_sightings.
Okay, underscore, okay. At mod_the_clown.
Instagram. I swim in butter. That's not normal.
No, she's totally gonna grind that together.
I love swimming in butter.